now watching The Wash Daily. Today news, exciting news. Hemp farmers in Massachusetts finally have been offered guidance on how to deal with hemp as a commercial product. What they're saying is, in Massachusetts, you can now sell hemp-derived items like construction materials or hemp-based wood products. You could sell hemp clothing, you could sell hemp paper, things that aren't flour or oil or CBD, and you don't have to report it under the hemp rules for manufacturing hemp or growing hemp. Massachusetts put out, for hemp farming, they put out 2 different licenses this year. One of them was for growing hemp, one was for working with hemp to create products. So if you're now working with hemp clothing or hemp products that aren't smokable, you don't have to declare them as such. Now you just have to pay taxes on them. That's great news for people who are working with hemp in Massachusetts, and good news for hemp in general. Also in news, Christopher Sununu from New Hampshire, who's been real tough on cannabis. He actually is allowing in New Hampshire medical patients to use cannabis, and those patients include people who have autism spectrum disorder, like Asperger's, kind of where there's been significant data showing efficacy for treating folks with those diagnoses. New Hampshire's been slow to roll out any kind of legal cannabis, and there's been a lot of people looking for that to happen there. All of New Hampshire's neighbors have cannabis. All of New Hampshire's neighbors have cannabis, including Canada. So it's very difficult for people in New Hampshire to understand why they don't have access, especially when 75% of the people in New Hampshire want cannabis, and it's only the leadership there that's preventing it from happening. Also in news, a report came out looking at people's position on cannabis according to their religious affiliation. It was a Pew Research study. What they found was people who identify as Christian tend to not want cannabis, which is kind of silly because the Bible speaks very clearly that God made the herbs that bear seeds. He calls them good. He said it's for your food. You're supposed to use it. He says also that when you don't use the thing that God said is good, and you call it bad, and you put the thing he calls bad, he's very clear about pharmakia, and we call that good. He says, woe to you in Isaiah 5:20. It says also when you put the sweet thing for the bitter. You know, pills are very bitter. When you take the sweet herb, the sweet leaf, that's cannabis, and instead you start using pills, that's bad. Woe to you. We see the health impact of our overuse of pharmaceuticals in our society. And then it says also in Acts chapter 5:29, it says that it's better that we obey the word of God than we listen to men. So basically, what it says is that God created the herb that's good. It says we're supposed to eat it for our food. It says that if we don't eat that for our food, if we eat other things, it's going to be trouble for us. It says if we take the bad and put it for good, and we take the sweet and put it for bitter, it's not going to work out for us very good. We see that's true. And then it says when men try to tell us not to do the thing that God said to do, he says we shouldn't do that. It's better we listen to God. We don't want to do the dumb thing and listen to men who don't know about the truth. So it's an interesting study. It's unfortunate they didn't point that out, but it does illustrate that a lot of folks who identify in the Christian community, they have a wrong understanding of cannabis and its role in helping humans. Thanks for watching The Wash Daily.